Good evening, everyone. I am Mrs. La-Dene Forrester Lambe, and I'd like to welcome you to tonight's session. For tonight, we just have a few objectives. We'll be going over the instructions for forum number 4. The practical project's final presentation will commence, and we will also be going over some case study presentations. At this time, I'd like to ask each of you to type your name in the chat. We're going to be doing attendance a little differently tonight. So type your name in the chat, and group number 7 can get ready to share their slides.
Good night, ma'am. Good night, class. Tonight, I'll be presenting on practical project number 3. Before we start off, my group member, Santiago, is very ill, and Tyler Belial is unable to make it, and the same as well for Arceli, unless she logged in late. So I'll be presenting the group project that we prepared together, identifying opportunities for strategic information systems. Presentation overview. In this presentation, we'll be covering how is UB using the web, the structure, the business processes, its politics, culture, environment, and management decisions. The effects of information technology on UB, Moodle, SendGrid, Google App Suites, and the effects of these information as well. The first pointer, how is UB using the web? Well, the University of Belize is using the web to share news related to the organization, to share information about the university, to share information about the faculties and programs offered at the university. University of Belize also is using the web to share access to open and distance learning, which is known as Moodle, UB email, SendGrid, Kubola e-library. The structure of the University of Belize is a professional bureaucracy. It is knowledge-based organization. Lecturers share their expertise and knowledge using ODL and face-to-face lecturers. Each faculty has a dean and each campus has an administrator. Information system has improved post-pandemic with the increase of online classes. With the improved information system, UB has remained competitive with its competitors and continued to be successful. Business process. The business process at the University of Belize is defined as a traditional business system and is employee-driven. Business process at the University of Belize include Moodle application, registration, payment, grade report. With the addition of new processes, post-COVID has made information systems successful. Politics. University of Belize has politics at all levels of management and administration. Dr. Vincent Palacio was recently appointed as the new president of UB in August of 2022. Each dean has their own view on how to improve their faculties, which has their own vision, mission at every faculty. At the administrator level, they have their own views on how to improve their respective campuses. Politics has a negative effects on information system. To students through the various clubs, gatherings, and other forums. Information system has helped in the above and thus is successful. Management decisions. The highest decisions are made by the Board of Trustees and the administrative and academic leadership. The University of Belize has a chain of command to whom students can address issues and request information. Information system is successful management decisions due to procedures set in place. Information system, the effects of information system at the University of Belize. First, we like to list out the characteristics, which are the structure, as we previously covered, business process, politics, culture, environment, management decisions, and how are the current effects of information system on the University of Belize. And on the next column, we'll be assessing whether the characteristic is an asset or a liability to the University of Belize. Start off with the first one as a structure. It is easy to follow and it's definitely an asset to the University of Belize. The business process. Most of the business processes that are employed by University of Belize are user-friendly and easy to use. And as a result, as a group, we have determined that it is definitely an asset to the University of Belize. The politics. Politics is never an easy in any organization due to different views, points, and how they want to move forward. As a result, we have labeled it difficult. We have also labeled it as an asset because due to the many different views and points brought forward by the many deans and the administrative, then different ideas and information are brought forward and thus which is helpful in moving the organization forward. Its culture. It's easy, we have labeled it easy, and we have determined that it is definitely an asset to University of Belize as well. The environment. Its effect on the information system is easy due to the previous slides, and we have labeled it as an asset as well. Management decisions. Easy, and it's definitely an asset to the University of Belize. All these, we have assessed all these due to the previous slides, and hence the reason why we have come about to determine whether it's an easy, difficult, an asset or liability. Moodle. Moodle is an open and distance learning platform. Moodle has assisted the university in meeting the demands of the students due to the changing environment. Moodle is also a reliable platform for online learning and classroom management. The platform is user-friendly and easy to use. Moodle is rated as high in contributing to the information system at the University of Belize. Zenegrade. Zenegrade provides students management software for registration, enrollment, and tracking. Each student have their own account for access to course registration, academic policies, payments, can also have access to their grades, transfer matrix, etc. Zenegrade is user-friendly as well and easy to use. Zenegrade use at UB would be rated as high as well. The Google App Suites. Google App Suite is a collaborative product apps that offers professional email, shared calendars, online documents editing, and storage, and video meeting, and etc. The suite is easy to use and user-friendly. Each student at the University of Belize have a Google App Suite that is provided by the University of Belize upon entering the university. Google App Suite makes group work easier where multiple people can be editing a shared document. The apps in the suite help ODL achieve its objectives. Google App Suite will be rated as high in contributing to information system. On this slide, will be assessing the effects of information system on universal beliefs. We have 3 columns here. We list out the characteristics. The success rating, is it an asset or liability to the organization? First, we'll be looking at Moodle. Moodle is characterized as high and is definitely an asset to University of Belize. Centigrade. The success rating for centigrade, based on the previous slide, is considered to be high and is definitely an asset to University of Belize. Information. This is the end of our presentation. Over to you now, Ms. La-Dene.
Very good presentation. We're going to jump right into the case studies. So our first presentation.
Miss, I'm not hearing you. You're breaking up.
We're going to have our case study presentations now.
Case study presentation, so the person who needs to present could go ahead. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We're hearing you.
Okay. So, good night, class. Good night, Miss. I will be presenting on General Electric becoming a digital firm in the emerging industrial internet. So, over the past 200 years, the world has experienced 2 major waves of innovation. First, the Industrial Revolution brought us machine and factories, railways in other states, electricity, air, travel, and our lives have never been the same. Then the Internet Revolution brought us computing power, data networks, unprecedented access to information, and communication, and our lives have never been the same. But now we're experiencing another metamorphic change, the industrial internet, which brings together intelligent machine, advanced analytics, and the creativity of people at work, and our lives have never been the same. So, a summary of General Electric. General Electric is one of the world's largest industrial manufacturing businesses and is aiming to reinvent itself as a software company as part of the industrial internet. So to accomplish their goal, GE, General Electric, will need to hire new labor force, train a new management corps, offer new services that customer will pay for, and establish a new culture that is more collaborative, quick to act, and innovative. It will need to transform itself into a digital company similar to Amazon, Google, Apple, and eBay. Powerhouse turned out to be too difficult to accomplish, although parts of the effort continue. So now we'll move on to the case study question. So the first, question asks, what does IMLET mean by the digitization of the industrial world and the industrial internet, and what are the 4 central elements of the industrial internet? So in the video, IMLET uses the term digitization of the industrial world to describe how many modern working processes, new materials, manufacturing techniques, and technology involve the internet and digital technologies. As a result, traditional industrial tools and processes must be modified for the digital world. So when he talks about the industrial internet, he claims that industrial companies are now in data information business because many of the machines they have, they may have sensors that produce enormous amount of data, such as a terabyte of data for a flight between New York and Chicago. So this data can be very, very valuable for a company if it has the ability to store, analyze, and visualize it in order to improve the performance of the company. So the four key elements of the industrial internet are data, information system, specialized people, and analytical tools. So what were the three alternatives? The next question asks, what were the three alternatives GE had for developing the hardware and software capabilities to become a digital firm? So building their own capabilities, buying in and buying out were the three alternatives they had for enhancing their hardware and software skills to become a digital firm. So GE's first alternative was starting its own company. After that, they looked for partners who might assist them. And thirdly, they tried to outsource some work to other businesses. And outsourcing, as I have there, is the use of external service provider to efficiently offer IT-enabled business process, application service, and infrastructure solution for business results. So the another question asks, which option for developing its digital capability did GE choose and why? So as was already indicated, GE had different alternatives, but they chose to start their own digital company. Because they were an industrial corporation, they might be kept out because many values would be developed throughout the industrial internet. And they wouldn't want that because all the values would be utilized by other businesses and corporations. So they rather develop their capabilities and learn in the process to adapt the company to a new expertise and change the culture inside the organization. So why does the new GE want to treat analytics as a company expertise just as it has always treated material science? So they want to approach analytics as a business expertise because Imlet perceives analytics as the firm's core. Data is everywhere right now, and therefore they must comprehend how the new digital world works. Furthermore, in today's computerized world, data is a very valuable asset, and as a result, Imlet sees analytics as the way to pursue for a company's survival and adapting GE to the present global digital position in the industrial sector. So due to analytics growing importance both now and in the future, they will approach it as a corporate skill in the same way they address material science, because by using analytics, it can analyze and develop its business model. So what example does Imlet use to illustrate the value of digital knowledge to GE customers? So Imlet used the example of using service agreements to share their results with their clients in the same manner that an IT business may do in the future. He emphasized the fact that consumer internet stocks make up 15 to 20% of S&P 500 value, which didn't exist 20 years ago. So he simply said that organizations may significantly gain from digital information by increasing their income and consequently their market value, which will help their customers. One flight between New York and Chicago produces a terabyte of data, which Imlet utilized this case to demonstrate the importance of digital information to GE clients. This example demonstrates how critical knowledge is today, and another example using such as hundreds of sensors and large amount of data, he tries to emphasize the importance of digital knowledge. So what does Imlet mean when he says GE will become a platform and app company? So having a platform that increases productivity and revenue is like having a whole new company. This is why Imlet asserts that GE will transform into a platform business because the platform, which they allude to, as predicts, will make it possible to gather a wealth of useful data and create apps on top of it. As a result, customer and GE will develop closer ties and GE will enhance its services. They are making this platform available to its users, so if users wish to create application on this platform, they are free to do so. And as a result, GE's internal communication with its customers will change for the better. So why does Emlet believe GE will need to hire thousands of new people to achieve its goal of becoming a digital firm? So because GE was a manufacturer, the initial workforce is now concentrated in a manufacturing industry. So to effectively transform themselves into a digital corporation, the company must have new types of employees and workforces in order to grow in other areas. They need to employ thousands of individuals, not just in a technological field, but also in several other fields and professions. For example, hire new product managers, have different kind of commercial people, and mix them with the GE team. Also, recruit differently and bring different skills and train them. So the last question of the case study asks, what is the culture of simplification and that Imlet believes is needed at GE? So Imlet believes in a culture of simplification that includes fewer layers, fewer processes, and fewer decision points, as stated in the video. It implies that fewer processes should be used to complete a task. This applies to workplace decision-making and many other processes. This simplifying culture will help GE get closer to being a digital company. So in other words, Imlet wants to democratize the information inside the company to have data access faster, reduce processes and decision points, to flatten the hierarchy structure so decision making is faster. So we move on now to the police context. So let's start with aviation. Today, about 10% of all flights cancellation and delays are due to unscheduled maintenance events, which means something could go wrong unexpectedly, resulting in about $8 billion in costs for an airline industry globally every year, and not to mention how it impacts their customers in the ways of stress, inconvenience, missed meeting as they sit helplessly at the airport terminal. So how does the industrial internet help? Industrial companies have developed a preventative maintenance system which can be installed on any aircraft. It is self-learning and is able to predict issues that a human operator would miss. The aircraft, while in flight, will communicate with technicians on the ground, and by the time it lands, they will already know if anything needs to be serviced. In the aviation sector, we have the Philip Wilson International Airport. And how this relates to GE in the industrial sector and the industrial internet is that, well, the airplane engine used at the Philip Wilson International Airports have hundreds of sensors on it, and these sensors have the capability to take continuous data about the heat of the engine, the fuel consumption, the running blades, and the environment the airplane is taking off. All in all, the series of things being processed by the airplane, which, as I mentioned, communicates with technicians on the ground about the health of the aircraft. Overall, this produces an enormous data, which falls in the industrial internet. So another example that I have here is the Belize Energy within the International Trade Administration. So in Belize, plans are being developed for renewable energy projects that vary from increasing the use of biomass power to installing distributed solar power systems. Belize has made investment in domestic energy production over the past 20 years to strengthen and stabilize its energy industry. So our growing focus on energy security is driving investment in hydropower, as well as recent ones in biomass, solar, and other technologies. So renewable energy technologies use renewable energy sources, such as wind and the sunlight, to create electricity and heat. So the Internet of Things has enabled the development of smart grids that allow for manual switching between renewables and existing power plants in order to ensure an uninterrupted power supply. This switching enables smart grids to handle the changing nature of renewable energy and provide users with continuous electricity supply. And how does the energy internet work? Well, the Internet of Energy collects data and manage operation at many places in the power grids infrastructure using the Internet of Things technologies. Sensory in the energy industry, information of things assists diagnostic, analytic, optimization, and integration operation that generate massive amount of data in the industrial internet. The Internet of Things enables the construction of completely autonomous energy plants. And as I mentioned above, smart sensors can be used to monitor the system performance in real time. And the list goes on, and it will grow fast because the industrial data are now growing exponentially. So key takeaways to remember is that in today's computerized world, data is a very valuable asset. And as the Internet of Things expands beyond home and offices to other businesses and factories, the world has become intimately connected. Manufacturing businesses all around the world have begun to spend time and money in the industrial Internet of Things efforts in order to accelerate the era of IT-driven smart manufacturing. As specialists in the industrial Internet of Things solutions give a stronger framework, well-defined plans, and a clear image of businesses, many manufacturers have begun to assess the future prospect of incorporating the Internet of Things and smart manufacturing. So the global manufacturing industry is undergoing a massive transformation, and the Internet of Things is driving this revolution. It is not only affecting industrial efficiency, but it's also discovering smarter ways to operate. So the industrial Internet of Things can control machine data and modify the processes and system of the new production environment, which all can help in reducing risk and at the same time creating innovation. So thank you for your undivided attention.
Thank you, Miriam. We're going to go on to our next presenter.
Okay, good night, guys. Can someone kindly confirm if you can view my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good night, Miss La-Dene and classmates. So tonight I will be presenting on the case study assigned to me, which is Facebook privacy, your life for sale. So as it states in the title, you might know more or less what it's about. So the problem here, or what is laid for, is that back in 2018 of January, Facebook had allowed its platform to be exploited by Russian intelligence and political consultants with the intention of intensifying existing political cleavages, which was driving people away from community and from one another during the US presidential election of 2016. So as stated in 2018, a founder and former employee of a political consulting and voter profiling company called Cambridge Analytica revealed that their firm had harvested personal information, which was as many as 87 million users of Facebook, and they used this information to influence the US presidential election, which took place in 2016. So it is to note that Facebook doesn't sell the personal information of its users, but what they did was allow third-party apps to obtain the personal information of Facebook users. And in this case, UK researchers were granted access to 50,000 Facebook users for the purpose of research. So they had developed a quiz, like an app quiz, and that it claimed to measure, like, for example, I'm sure that not only myself, but many of you guys that own a Facebook profile, sometimes when you're scrolling on your newsfeed, you can see these links or apps, third-party apps that pop up, and it will say something like, take this quiz and find out if you're fit for, like, just this week, actually, there has been a lot of these links on Facebook saying, you know, take this quiz and find out if you fit into the royal family, or take this quiz and find out what's your personality trait. something of that sort. So this was what happened. And by clicking the link, what this third party app did was take information from the user that was clicking the link. So it was taking all of the information that was from their profile, for example, where they are located. It has their well, when you're creating a Facebook account, it asks you such questions like where are you located and where's your address, like when's their date of birth. Basic information such as those were what they were taking, and then in turn using it for what, quote unquote, their research. And this was used actually, they exploited Facebook's social network. The Russian operatives, they exploited Facebook's social network in an effort to influence the presidential election. So we move on to the first question, which was the perform an ethical analysis of Facebook and what is the ethical dilemma presented by this case. So Facebook is under fire for how it handles and uses the vast amounts of information it obtains from its users. The privacy and user controls over the information supplied to Facebook are the primary concerns of Facebook users. Facebook is faced with the challenge of generating cash from user information while respecting their privacy. When the management and organization release new software that users perceive to be invasive, they fail to consider their users' privacy concerns. So what this is saying is that Facebook claims, well, when you sign up, it's something free. You don't necessarily have to pay as other social networks. For example, when you're joining, let's say Tinder, you have to pay a fee to join. So what Facebook lays forth for the public is we're a free application. You're able to download it for free. You're able to join it for free. So of course you join for free, and when you question yourself is, how do they make money? How does the owner make money by not charging people to join? So they're laying forth that it's free, but what they're doing behind the scenes is actually they're selling your information, or as the title says, your life for sale. So what you place forth on Facebook is actually what they're selling to other to researchers or to other large companies, and therefore these large companies or researchers then are granted access to your information, and they can post or have advertisements on your newsfeed for you to be able to grant them access. Then by pressing these third-party apps, or by pressing these links that are placed or brought forth to you, you are granting them access to your information. Question number 2 is, what is the relationship of privacy to Facebook's business model? So the relation between users' privacy and Facebook's business model is important because of advertising, the main revenue of Facebook. 70% of its 5 million users log in every day, and they all are between 18 and 24 that advertisers want to collaborate with Facebook to make profits for both. So it's ironic to discuss privacy with Facebook. The whole business model of Facebook is founded on the collection and distribution of user information. They provide consumers with a free social media platform and then sell ads and analytics depending on what they discover about the user. Facebook has enormous data collection, storage, and analysis capabilities. This enables Facebook to sell highly targeted advertisements. As a result, privacy is crucial to the Facebook business model. Facebook specifies its policies regarding the rights and responsibilities that stem from the Facebook principles and regulate the relationship with users and those who engage with Facebook. Again, I am sure that I'm not the only one, but almost like 90% of us, I can say, that are in this class right now have more than once logged into Facebook, and when you're scrolling on your newsfeed, you can see there are ads there, and some of these ads are quite intriguing to you, and it's quite coincidental as well, because these things are somewhat related to you or something that you are interested in, and then it'll be like, how did they know, or how did Facebook know that you know, I wanted this, or that I'm checking this out, or something of that sort. But what you're not what you are not aware of, sorry, is that Facebook is collecting your data that you post every day, or like locations. For example, it gives you the option to, when you post a picture, you can tag a place. So for example, if you visit Mexico, or you know, yes, if you visit Mexico and you tag you take a picture at a hotel and you tag Cancun or something of that sort, the next time you log into Facebook, your news feed will generate more advertisements, like cheap hotels to visit in Cancun, something of that sort. And that's an advertisement that they got paid for to be able to put forth on your newsfeed. So they're selling your information. And so here's a list of Facebook privacy policies that they leave forth for their users. Number 1 is the individual privacy. Number 2 is security of data and information. Number 3 is accuracy of data and information. Number 4 is data quality. Number 5 is changing nature of business. Number 6 is appropriate information use. Number 7 is health and safety. Number 8 is copyright laws. Number 9 is advertising policies, and number 10 is advanced privacy policy. So the other question, sorry, is describe the weakness of Facebook's privacy policy and features. What management, organization, and technology factors have contributed to those weaknesses? So 1, by allowing users information to be shared and made public, continue to let other users know what you are doing until disabled it manually. Number 2 is the incorporation and handling of its newsfeed feature. The newsfeed feature provided other users that you are friends with updates of actions that you perform while logged into Facebook. Number 3, unable to delete Facebook account or any of the information that is on user account. Facebook, this is what, when I was going through this case study as well, and I did my research, it was very shocking to me, because I did learn a lot that I didn't know about Facebook. And I think this is what a lot of us are not aware of. We just tend to join these social media platforms and we're not aware of what we're actually getting ourselves into. And number 3 is very something to actually pay attention to, because it says that Facebook keeps a copy of users' entire account even after you deactivate it and you no longer wish to have any affiliation whatsoever with Facebook. You know, when you choose to delete a Facebook account, it tells you that after 30 days, you have 30 days to change your mind. And after that, it's completely deleted, right? So first it goes to deactivation, then it goes to deletion. However, when it reaches the stage of deletion, it's deleted for the public. But Facebook is actually, they keep a copy of your account. And number 4 is Facebook's privacy policy is difficult to comprehend. So users normally don't quite understand the option on privacy setting. Facebook states its regulations concerning to the rights and responsibilities derived from Facebook principles and govern the relationship with users and others who interact with Facebook. When it comes to management, if users did not utilize the opt-out tool, Facebook presumed they gave their approval to disclose information about them obtained through the Beacon advertising program. Facebook made a Beacon opt-in service and provided users with the option to turn it off altogether. So it's something very tricky that they did, because well, a lot of us, well, you would say our parents or grandparents that have Facebook account, they're not really interested in going into all these settings, and you know, you have to turn it on and turn it off if you allow it. But when it comes to the older generation, they don't really know, they're not technological savvy to be able to go into settings and do all of these things. Therefore, they're more at risk, because they're not turning these things off. So Facebook, again, they presume, you know, that, well, this user is giving us the approval to disclose information about them. So that's something quite tricky that they did. And it is Facebook's strategy goal to persuade its users to submit as much info as possible so that Facebook can provide relevant advertisements to consumers. This is because Facebook's revenue is nearly completely derived from advertising. So again, their strategy goal is to persuade you guys to submit as much information as possible. So when you see sometimes when you're posting or you're making a post, you're putting a picture, even when you're making a post first, if you just want to write something on your page, it's asking you, well, it says then it suggests for you to insert a picture. So then let's say you do insert a picture. Then it says there's another, it prompts you to tag friends or tag a location, or how are you feeling, or something of that sort. Those tiny little details are what they actually use to be able to put out advertisements to you. And the corporation completely underestimated the extent to which the service violated the privacy of its users, as well as the controversy such a service was expected to produce. So the same thing happened when Facebook launched its newsfeed function. In general, it is Facebook's strategy goal to persuade its users to submit as much data as possible so that Facebook can provide appropriate advertisements to consumers. This is because, again, Facebook's revenue is nearly completely derived from advertising. So Facebook is constantly updating its features. If you guys can remember way back, probably in 2012, I don't necessarily remember when they incorporated the reactions, where at first all you could do to a post was like it, right? After that, they updated their features, and you're able to now have a host of reactions, like you can love something, you can react sad, angry, haha, and so forth. So they're constantly launching new features, such as the newsfeed function, where you're able to see everything that your friends post, friends of your friends even, and so the friends of your friends, you can see their posts even if they're not your friends. And then again, if you tag your friend in a post or a picture, the friends of your friends can view your post even if they're not your friends. So then this is where they violated the privacy of the users, of yourself, right? Because what they state or what they bring forth to you is a promise of privacy policy, but they're completely contradicting themselves. Now, when it comes to organization, the personal information collected on the site is a goldmine for advertisers, but it will mostly go untapped if Facebook users do not feel comfortable or have a compelling reason to contribute it. Users who sought to deactivate their accounts were greeted with resistance and frequently required outside aid from watchdog groups. Facebook wants the world to be more open and connected so that it can make more money. However, the privacy restrictions over personal data are far from what Facebook now provides. Furthermore, most users are unaware of its privacy settings of their Facebook account. Again, Facebook is constantly updating its features and its privacy policy, and those are things that when they update their privacy policy and so forth, as users, for myself, I don't necessarily take out the time to go over and read all of this, because I say it's just a bunch of words, just like these long paragraphs that I don't necessarily feel the need to read. But no, I will, by doing this, I will go over these policies and know what I'm getting myself into, because they know that as users, we take it for granted that they're actually protecting our information, when in reality they're doing whatever they want with it to gain revenue from it. So technology, most users' main concern with Facebook are privacy and user control over the information they provide to the site. When Facebook debuted the company's Beacon advertising tool, it significantly underestimated customer privacy expectations, since it disclosed information about users that they had not specifically planned or authorized to share. The service started off as an opt-out function. Even after users opt out, the service continued to send information to Facebook regardless of whether the user was signed in or not. In accounts that have been canceled, the company's servers have saved copies of information indefinitely. So again, when it comes to advertising, I have seen for myself, and I can speak for myself when I say that sometimes when you're looking through stories of friends, these advertising pop up, and then it asks you as well, because I had opened a business page for my small business, and then it's actually charging you to boost your your post, and it takes you to a whole nother thing as well when it comes to Instagram, but we're dealing with Facebook, and it charges people to be able to boost your post, which then turns into an advertisement, and then these things are posted on people's news feed, and these things are also posted on their stories. When you're looking through stories, it just inserts a story that is an advertisement for a company, or something of this sort. Like, again, when it comes to taking these personality tests, or taking these tests that will determine, like, let's say, what type of house you want to live in, these that you would call innocent tests, or quizzes, are what they're actually gaining money from. Now, the other question is, will Facebook be able to have a successful business model without evading privacy? Explain your answer. Could Facebook take any measures to make this possible? So, it is not believed that Facebook will be able to sustain a profitable business model without breaching users' privacy. As a result, Facebook needs more user data to personalize its adverts, inadvertently breaching individual privacy. 2. Obviously, advertising is the foundation of Facebook's revenue strategy. As a result, Facebook needs more user data to personalize its adverts. And there are no expenses to join or use Facebook. It appears that they tossed in a few adverts and anticipated that its visibility would bring in customers. 3. To notify all Facebook users by an electronic comprehensive letter that information contributed to your information pages for advertising purposes will be utilized by the Facebook Corporation to provide users with the opportunity. So, we're in the year 2022, almost 2023, and there majority of the social media platforms we would say are free to join and free to use, but then there are certain strategies that they put in place that we won't see effects now, but in the longer run. So what I can say from this is that Facebook will continue to use users' information to post advertisements, and I can see that this will branch off to something that they will actually be making profit from both sides of the users and these people that are posting advertisements, because they will bring forth a new strategy whereby if you're a user and you don't want to see more advertisements, then you can pay Facebook to remove these advertisements, like a monthly fee they'll charge you for you to not have these advertisements taking up on your news feed. So as it relates to Belize, there are not much big companies that we would say, or big research companies that would want to buy over information as yet, but these things can actually take effect in the longer run. Again, I have seen these companies, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to call out the name, but there's this call center company that has been posting, or that has advertisements on Facebook as well. I'm not sure if they have inserted it into every user in Belize page, but I think it's Teleperformance. They have posted well, I see it there permanently now, their advertisement that they're hiring, and they post like an attractive flyer, and for you to apply, open to all Belizeans, and they post their hourly rate and so forth. And then I believe that in context of Belize, they're doing this, and then many other advertisements will pop up as well, because they're using our location. Facebook doesn't necessarily, well, we're in Belize, and then it's using our location, so we don't necessarily see advertisements from the US or from other parts of the world. And a small thing to note that I learned over this weekend that went as well, it was that when we go and click on these links they're taking our information. So I'm sure that all of us have experienced when we go on a website and we click this little box that says, I'm not a robot, right? When we click that, we just think we're clicking it to get to our site, but actually by clicking that, we're giving the site approval for them to take information from us. And when you think about information, they're actually taking a copy of our browsing history, and then they're able to incorporate advertisements to the site. So then when you're on the site that you were going, after clicking that button, you tend to see a lot of advertisements that relate to your location or to previous sites that you have visited. And this is something that we should take note of, because we are using Facebook as something that is very innocent. We're not seeing it as something that's a threat to us as yet, which it can become, because we're posting our life out there for people to be able to see. But little do we know that they were actually selling our life, right? It says your Facebook privacy, your life for sale. That's what we're doing. And these large advertising companies are taking they're taking our information then and making it into something of their own. And therefore Facebook is actually gaining a lot from it, from just being a free social media platform. So this is the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Kyra. So just a reminder, while Sophia sets up her slide, forum number 4 becomes due on Sunday of this week. It's on Moodle, so you guys can go ahead and do that one as soon as you're able to.
Good night, class. Good night, Miss. My name is Sophia Myers, and I will be presenting on Is BYOD Good for Business? BYOD is Bring Your Own Device. It is a set of policies in a business that allows employees to use their own devices, phones, laptops, or tablets, to access business application and data rather than forcing employees to use company-provided device for that purposes. I now will summarize the case study. This case study will discuss whether a business should implement the Bring Your Own Device policy, and if so, how to implement it successfully. People bringing their own device increase workplace productivity and employee satisfaction, but can negatively affect the company. This policy cause problem in managing mobile devices and protecting corporate data and networks. This case study states that it is because increasingly difficult to manage as more employees bring their devices to work. Bring your own device is a risk because IT department lose control over the hardware, which means that they cannot control what apps or programs are installed, file downloaded, and the security of the device, which causes threats for the company information not being secured. To utilize Bring Your Own Device securely, firm needs a system that keeps track of the tools, location of the device, and knowledge of software. This way, it is easier to keep track of the company information on employees' device. Intel was the leader in Bring Your Own Device movement, as they successfully implemented the policy that covers more than 30,000 employees' mobile device. They pointed out that this specified approach provided the foundation for more efficient time management strategy. Therefore, if a firm uses this to their advantage, it can create higher productivity that benefits the company significantly. The first question, what are advantages and disadvantages of allowing employees to use their personal mobile device for work? Advantages. This policy increases productivity, as I mentioned, device familiarity and flexibility for employees, which makes them more productive. It saves the organization financially, as the policy allows employees to use their personal device. Therefore, the company saves because they don't need to purchase corporate devices. It limits the training, as employees are familiar with their own devices already. Disadvantage. This policy has security issues, software difficulty, data retrieval, and lack of consistency. The use of different mobile platforms requires IT resources and managing and maintaining everything. Increased distraction in the workplace, because using your personal device, you could be having your own conversation, not work related. Employees' device may not be compatible with the company's software as well. The second question, what management, organization, and technology factors should be addressed when deciding whether to allow employees to use their personal mobile device for work? Management factors. The company must establish policies to protect and manage their data security to prevent corporate data leakage or theft. The company has to have an effective way to keep track of all devices used in the workplace, ensure that the employees stayed focused doing their jobs and not get distracted by their personal issues. Software development teams to ensure that the application are easy to access, navigate through different mobile devices, able to connect to the company's IT network and the company's ERP system. Organization factors. The company needs to create an organized inventory system so they could track which employee is using which device. The IT expert to ensure that application is usable and helpful when installed on advanced mobile devices. Keep track of the location, software, and the usage of the device so that they could see who accessed the company's information, and how to manage and maintain the IT resources. Question 2 continues. Technology. Development. The company has to focus on the development and improvement of new technological applications to make their operational system suitable for any device. They need to ensure that the system is user-friendly and secure to help employees to work and manage their data safely. Also, the IT team will work to check servers regularly and update the apps or programs so that the company can remain technologically updated. Also, they need to analyze how to make use of systems that will keep their information secure outside of the work functions to wipe data if the device is stolen or lost. Question 3, evaluate how the company described in this case study dealt with the challenges of bring your own device. As I mentioned, Intel was successful by implementing the bring your own device, which they hosted an enterprise-wide policy that covered more than 30,000 employees' mobile device. Intel did this by building their trust with their employees by establishing clear-cut guidelines, informing employees about the information they can and cannot be seen when administrators manage their devices. They allow employees to choose the level of mobile access to the corporate system and the level of security. Another company mentioned in the case study was the tech company SAP, which implemented the BYOD system successfully as well by developing a specialized mobile platform for work-related application so employees could use their device to work from anywhere. Also, they created a security system to decommission mobile device within a minute if lost or stolen. Swiss Re utilized an enterprise mobility management EMC system with multiple operating systems to support the technical and operational challenges, organizational challenges of implementing the BYOD policy. And lastly, Blackstone, a global investment and advisory firm, implemented the bring your own device policy within limitations using Apple products such as iPads, because Apple devices are easier to support and require little maintenance. Question 4. Allowing employees to use their own smartphones for work will save the company money. Do you agree? Why or why not? I agree that the using smartphones saves large companies money because the cost of devices are not cheap. Therefore, to bring your own device policy, the company will not need to purchase devices, since most of their employees who already have personal device can use them. Also, the company would spend fewer resources training employees on how to use the company's devices. If employees are allowed to use their own device, they will waste less time getting acquainted with the company's device. On the contrary, though, it can be costly for companies, especially smaller organizations, to maintain the system properly to support the many different devices employees use. All in all, I would say that they save large companies money, and valuable time, but can be costly for small businesses. How bring your own device relate Belize? Organization is Belize not really incorporate the bring your own device. The farthest they have during my research, the farthest I believe they went is incorporating it within marketing and communication. That's communicating within WhatsApp groups within the organization and using your WhatsApp status to post like flyers and things of such. So I don't think that that really work here, and due to technological advancements and constraints, it is not implemented in companies here as yet, I should say. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. All right, so you've heard from the 3 case study presenters tonight, as well as our final presenter. The names I currently have absent, I'm going to read them out because I asked you guys to just type your name in the chat if you were here, right? So I have Kian, Sandra, Kerwin, Shamika, Anthony, Kenya, Cheyenne, Fidel, Ronell.
Miss you to call
the ones that are absent.
Oh.
Alyssa, Araceli, Leonce, Kaylee, Santiago, and Tyler.
Miss Ronald and Alyssa is here. They put our text in the chat.
Okay, they're here now? Okay, they must
here.
All right, so that's Alyssa.
Anthony here, Miss.
Anthony as well?
Santiago,
Yeah,
I type my name there, Miss.
Okay.
Vashti too, Miss.
Sandra.
Sandra is here.
Delta, Miss.
Okay, so the others are still not in. Okay, just letting you know, your forum is on Moodle, and this unit looks at ethics. So you're being asked to find an ethical dilemma that you can write about. And although it might be your personal experience, you always have to put a citation in your forum. So for the citation, some ideas that you can use is to find a theory that you would like to use. For example, there is the golden rule. Some people use the golden rule to help them make decisions, or you might use the deontological view. There are different views. I can share with you one example of an ethical dilemma that I know personally before we close out tonight. And this is because I deal with large sets of data from time to time. My best friend has been married to her husband for a little over 20 years now. She was actually my maid of honor. And up to date, she doesn't know how much her husband earns. I have that information, but I cannot share it with her because I've signed an oath of confidentiality with the government of Belize, with my organization, and with other entities that I interact with. Now, the dilemma is, because she's my friend, should I tell her? What do you guys think?
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
Why not?
You signed the oath.
Right. So when you guys write about your ethical dilemma, you have to justify the reason. Although it's a sticky situation, she's my best friend, they've been married for 20-something years. He should have told her by now how much money he's earning. But if I go and do that, then I am breaching my contract, and that I could be penalized legally for just telling my friend how much her husband earns. So whatever principles you use to come up with the decision that you make for your ethical dilemma, you have to justify it. Tell me what the view is. Whether you're using one of the principles that Dr. Ryan shares in the recorded lecture, which you'll find in chapter 4, right under the learning resources, you'll be able to see the pre-recorded lecture that he's already posted there for you guys to listen to. And he shares several different views that you could use when you're making ethical decisions. So these are here right under chapter 4 lecture under learning resources in the theory week. You can also look up other theories for ethical dilemmas and tell me what decisions you would make. If you know of a experience of some situation where you had a difficult choice to make, or if it's not your experience and it's the experience of a friend, tell me about it. But the rule is, do not tell me the person's actual name. Don't tell me where they actually worked. Whatever you describe, describe it with fake names, fake organization, etc., because you do want to respect that individual's privacy. All right, so that is it for tonight. I want to thank you guys for being patient. My internet connection was up and down tonight, but I hope that you do enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you next week.
Good night, Miss. Night, man.
Good night.